Hello and welcome to the Outer East Football Netball Show brought to you by Gameface. I'm Adam Miller and once again alongside me in the studio is Steph Barkers. Good afternoon, Steph.
Good afternoon, Aiden. It's a very exciting week. Junior finals kick off this week. We have plenty happening. About to get to the pointy end of the season and I cannot wait.
Here we go. Coming up in the show, Round the Grounds comes back. You're also going to see ones to watch as well.
We have a match of the round preview, as we always do. This week, it's Hillsville versus Seville. And we also have interviews with Mount Evelyn and Northeast Blaze player Montana Wallis, plus Gembrook-Cockatoo's playing seniors coach Michael Firrito. And, of course, fantasy football and netball. We're going to add our third sub to our netball teams, plus our first two interchange players to our footy teams.
Well, let's move across to Around the Grounds. First up, junior finals kick off this weekend. Massive congratulations and good luck to all sides competing.
Absolutely. And of course, our women's football finals also start next weekend and venues have now been confirmed. Women's finals are all on Saturdays this year outside of the two grand finals, which will be played on Sunday, the 25th of August, which is the week after junior finals are wrapped. Now, we did have a few questions on our socials around why they're mostly on Saturdays this year. And the reasoning is due to feedback from our clubs and players who wanted to be able to play their own finals and then be able to attend the junior finals on the Sunday, hence the Saturday. So many of the players in our women's competition either have their own kids or are involved with the junior clubs, even just volunteering. So they wanted to be able to get to both. We've done our best to make that possible for them. The only thing that's still outstanding from a women's final point of view are the times. We're expecting they'll commence mid-morning or early afternoon, but they should be confirmed early next week leading into the first week. So keep an eye out for that.
This Sunday, the 4th of August, we have our intermediate netball coaching course in association with Netball Victoria taking place in Kilsyth. It's not too late to sign up. See our social media for more details and the registration link.
Absolutely. And then on Monday, August 5th, the next day, there's a women and girls umpire experience hub down at Seaford. So if you're a current umpire or if you're interested in becoming an umpire, this would be great for you. You can learn how to best fuel up for a game from a dietitian. There's a Q&A session with an AFLW umpire and everyone is also going to walk you through the best recovery tips for post-game. So see our socials for more details on that and for the link to register. Okay, Ones to Watch is back, of course. Who have you picked from a men's footy point of view for this week?
This week from Gembrook-Cockatoo. We saw him on the weekend, like we have the last couple of weeks with our Ones to Watch. Braden Weller from Gembrook-Cockatoo. He's in the fantasy football side. He had 4 intercept marks, 7 contested possessions, 5 rebound 50s, 3 score involvements. He was absolutely massive early days. Mount Evelyn didn't kick a goal until the last quarter, and it was this man's performance that was the main reason for that.
Amazing. Very strong. All right. Well, I know it's meant to be ones to watch, Aiden. I know what you're going to say. But this week I have selected the entire Hillsville senior
The entire side, Steph. You couldn't pinpoint it down to one.
No, I couldn't.
All right.
And I'll tell you why. It is justified. So Pakenham, who they played on the weekend, hadn't lost since round 1.
Yep.
And Hillsville also lost to Pakenham in round 8, and it was 39-5.
Yep.
So by winning on the weekend, they are now tied with Pakenham at the top of the ladder. Both have 12 wins, 2 losses.
Yep.
And I think Hillsville winning by 8, it was a massive team effort. It makes things really interesting come finals. So that's why I've selected that whole team. I think they've made the final series really interesting. And yeah, I'm excited now. I kind of hope we see those two match up again in the final series.
Certainly. They'll be hungry, Hillsville, last year. They probably should have won it undefeated, went down in that semi-final, lost to Linda-Fernie Creek. So I think they'll definitely be out to try and get the job done. Pakenham, though, going to be a pretty formidable opponent as they've shown throughout the season, but that should be one of our more interesting grand final matchups. Should it happen? Still certainly a chance for, I know Upway Tacoma and Linda-Fernie Creek are up there, but we will see. Moving across to netball, we've gone with Caitlin Black from Mount Evelyn. Also saw her in action on the weekend. Plays goalkeeper, sometimes moves into goal defence as well. Really strong intercept work, especially given the steady rain and slippery court on the weekend. Reads the play really well, able to anticipate the next pass. She sets a really steady pace to keep control of the game in the wet weather. She's a great leader and also one of our VNL representatives.
Well, she just has accolades a mile long, honestly. She's an incredible player, so unsurprised that she was your selection for one to watch. All right, well, let's get straight into the match of the round preview. I'm very excited for this one. Hillsville versus Seville. Take us through the footy first.
We will go through the footy, yep. So Hillsville currently top of the ladder. They're 11-2 with 2 byes, so you've got to remember Division 1, you do get 4 points per bye. Seville are currently second on the ladder with an 11-2 and the 1 draw against Belgrave and Anzac Day record with the 1 bye. So just currently separated by 2 points. Percentage is very close as well. Hillsville's is 282, Seville's is 279. The two sides played back in round 7. Seville won that game by 19 points, so Hillsville will be looking for revenge, and this game will be played up at Don Road this week. Some of the key matchups to look out for, I imagine Jack Nolan's probably going to have the big matchup on Aaron Edwards, who's kicked plenty of goals this season, so that's going to be an important one for the Blues, and I reckon you'll probably see the captain of Hillsville, Nick Mendy, go head-to-head with Mark Cesare. And then for the netball, Seville currently second on the ladder with a 12-1 record. Hillsville are fourth with a 5-7 record. Some of the key matchups you'll see in that one, Hayley Condon probably lines up, and Hayley Ray has scored plenty of goals this season, and probably in the centre will be between Cleo Mini and Holly Blackney.
All right, perfect. Well, I think those will be two very interesting matches this weekend. Let's go to your tips. Who are you going to pick for the footy? Tough one.
Yeah, it is a tricky one. I actually might back Seville in away from home in the footy. I'll back Seville though in the netball as well. Yes, I'll go Seville twice. Yep.
Amazing. All right, let's see how that one turns out.
Did you know that GameFace can provide game day vision for the under-19s, reserves, women's and netball teams? Split the fee with your opposition, so make sure you book it now.
Well, on the weekend, Aiden managed to catch up with Montana Wallis, who plays A-grade netball for Mount Evelyn and also is in the 23 and under team for our community partners Northeast Blaze after their match against Gembrook-Cockatoo on the weekend.
Well, we're here today with Montana Wallis from Mount Evelyn's A-grade side, and Tanner, pretty solid win in, once again, really nasty conditions.
Very, very nasty conditions. It was a very, very cold game.
You look like you handled the conditions pretty well, not the ball going through the hands too much as it often does. Do you think the girls have just got used to the rain over the last month or so?
I mean, probably. We did say we're a pretty wet weather netball team at this point. So yeah, I think everyone's a bit acclimatised to the weather. I certainly am not, but still a lot of drop balls, but that's understandable, I guess.
No, you can certainly take that. We don't usually have time to do post-match interviews with the netballers, but we did conclude the game earlier today. How did that decision come about?
I think the moment we stepped on court, everyone's like, surely we're not going to play this full game of netball. And then, yeah, everyone in that third quarter was like, there's no way there's another quarter after this. So I think it was just kind of a mutual agreement. I think the girls from Gembrook had their ladies' day as well, so they were pretty happy to call it early. Yeah, there you go. No, it was an interesting day. My umbrella went not once but twice as well, and I could see Tanner really wanted to get that in there as well. And I could not believe that. So I'm a little bit wet at the moment because of that. Didn't do anything for me, but luckily our cameraman saved the day on the first occasion. I actually had to operate the camera, could you believe? So, and Tanner, you're also one of our Northeast Blaze girls as well. We've got plenty of VNL representation in the competition. How do you manage that workload playing competition football as well as representative? Well, I guess both of my coaches, so Caitlin Black is my Manev coach, and then Ella Bayliss, who's also in my Manev team, is my Northeast Blaze coach. So it's pretty easy to manage my load as they're right there with me. They just tell me what I can and can't do. But yeah, it's pretty good. I don't really know what to say about that. They're a really good support system, so they'll always let me know, yes, you can play, yes, you can't play. Are you doing too much? Are you doing enough? But yeah, it's at the moment finals, obviously this week coming for Blaze, so just definitely taking it easy, and this was an easier game in the rain.
Yep.
So
into a prelim against, was it Melbourne United?
Melbourne United, yeah.
So that should be a very big game. So hopefully we get plenty of Outer East people down there on Wednesday night to support the girls.
Yeah, definitely.
And lastly, Tanner, you've also just come back from Europe, so I'm sure you're not too happy about these conditions as well, enjoying the weather, but how's it been coming back to Melbourne the last couple of days?
Very, very cold. I literally landed 5 a.m. on Wednesday, and we had our first semi-final that night. So that was good fun. Straight into netball, which is always good. And then, yeah, Melbourne's turned up the weather for me, being here.
How's the jet lag?
It's actually not too bad. Yeah. Literally slept the whole plane ride here, so rejigged it pretty early, which is good.
No, it's definitely the way to do it. Take the hours off it a little bit. Montana, thank you very much for joining us today, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
And then later on in the day, we also were able to have a chat with playing coach. Doesn't play every week, Michael Firrito. We did ask him about that, but their playing coach, Michael Firrito, after a very important win against Mount Evelyn.
Well, we're here today with Michael Firrito, Gembrook-Cockatoo's playing coach, after what turned out to be a really important win today, with the news through the week that, of course, Berwick Springs and Narre Warren are going to leave. Michael, it was very important in terms of trying to avoid relegation.
Yeah, it certainly was. We spoke about it during the week, obviously, and all that noise and talk of relegation and everything like that. We wanted to make sure we've got games that are certainly winnable, and we're in control of our own destiny. So we certainly come to play today. The boys were super. It was really tough, sloggy conditions, but got the job done.
And playing Emerald next week, one of those teams in that window, so that's going to be another really big game. Any plans on how you're going to go into that one?
No, well, look, they're always huge games because we're fierce rivals. So, but this one there's a bit more riding on it. But I guess they would have been pretty happy they've had the week off, and we played in really heavy conditions. So it'll be a pretty light week again this week, and make sure we bring that same effort and output that we did today. So they're pretty good. I've seen a little bit of them, and both of us aren't really going particularly well, but at times we've played some good footy. So we'll need to be on our game.
Yep. It's been a bit of a theme the last month or so, these rainy, wet conditions, but you guys look like you really handled it well today. You just look like you had the plans for it. What were some of those plans coming into today's game?
Yeah, look, we did. I don't know if the boys particularly like it. We seem to play well in the wet, heavy conditions, but it's funny because we had the week off, but it's been quite interrupted. So Thursday night we didn't have the lights. The council did something, so we didn't have any lights. So we actually barely trained this week, but maybe it was a blessing in disguise. We were inside and we watched a fair bit of vision, and we were able to all get on the same page. So look, we put a few things together, and they were good enough to work, and we're still not doing them super well, and I think there's a fair bit of improvement, but hopefully we can keep, I guess as a coaching group, keep teaching them how we want to play, and the boys are a really coachable group, and we think we've still got a lot of upside, but we're running out of time. We're not where we wanted to be, but I think we've got improvement, but it's going to come through hard work, and the boys, they work hard and they crack in, which we saw today.
Still a fairly young side, so if you can stay in Premier Division, I'm sure you've got plenty of confidence that those guys can take another step next year.
Yeah, absolutely. We think we're good enough to be here, but like I said, we're in control of our own destiny. So if we don't win enough games, we don't deserve to be in the top flight. So we're in control of it, and we take ownership of that. And hopefully we can go to Emerald and knock over our rivals.
Yep. And we've noticed with you, mate, you sort of play some weeks and then you're just a full-time coach off the field. How does that decision get made week to week?
Yeah, well, I'm 40, so it just sees how I go. So I actually probably don't mind these conditions these days because I am slow and everyone's slow in the heavy conditions. But it's really just about what's best for the side. I played down back a bit and forward and
in the ruck as well.
In the ruck too, which I don't really like. But,
who does?
It just sort of way up. I've got a really good coaching group behind me, Mickey Harold and Jamie Marshall, Neil Bazarka, Damien Volta and Colin Basto. So those boys do a fair bit of work as well. But just really depends on matchups and how the body's feeling. Yep.
You've been back playing with Gembrook for I think it's the last 7 years since you finished up at North Melbourne. Yep. How important is the Gembrook family to you, mate? Of course, you played all your junior footy here.
Yeah, super. Look, I grew up here and love the place. Mum and Dad are just down the road. So obviously I don't want the first season of coach and we're in relegation zone, so it's not really panning out how I would have wanted. But look, we've got another month left, and I want to make sure we end the season on a good note. So it's certainly back to the wall sort of stuff for us. But hopefully we can get it together and we can finish this year with a bit of momentum.
Yeah, well, you certainly started that last block very well with that win today. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today, mate, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
All right, time for fantasy football and netball. We're almost finished our teams. I think I'm actually going to miss this once our teams are full. It's been really fun. Let's go over to the footy. So 2 people for your interchange this week.
Well, it's kind of amazing that these 2 were still available, so I made sure to pounce on them. Firstly, Kurt Mutimer from Narry Warren. He averages 28 disposals a game. He's also averaging at 9 clearances, so he's going to be a very important one to rotate through my midfield. And this one I'm also pretty happy with. Zach Munkhorst, 36 hit-outs he's averaging this season, including 6 hit-outs with advantage, also 7 clearances. So definitely looking forward to rotating him with Benny Ratton in the ruck. So that's going to be my 2 selections for footy.
Very strong. And as you say, I'm not quite sure how I didn't pick him. Well, I've gone with Sky Wilson from Woorollalek. I'm shocked that I honestly haven't picked her sooner. She was listed in the best players 12 of 15 rounds so far this year. Made our team of the week multiple times. I've also gone with Emerson Woods from Warburton Wesburn. She's the captain of that side, a former AFLW player. Great run out of the midfield and on the wing. So, two that I wanted to snap up as well before this finishes. So
definitely good selections there.
Let's jump over to the netball. We're doing another sub. We've only got 2 subs left, so we've only got 2 selections left.
Yep.
It's getting tough. Who are you going to go with?
Going to go with Maddie Hargrave from Yarra Glen. She's got just under 500 goals this season, 484 to be exact, so she's going to be my rotation for either goal shooter or goal attack where I need her.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a strong choice. I have gone with Puiti Laban from Narry Warren. Again, someone I'm so shocked that I didn't think to pick earlier. So, VML 19 and under team of the year last year. Made the Vic 17 and under state team for the 2nd year in a row this year, and playing for the Casey Demons in the 23 and under VNL side. So, someone that I love to just be able to pull onto the coin if I need to.
When you need it. Very good selection.
Lovely.
Well, that pretty much wraps up all there is to talk about in the Outer East this week. If there's anything you'd like to see in the show, make sure you leave a comment down below. Steph, thank you again for joining me in the studio.
No problems at all.
For all the viewers out there, don't forget to get your game face on.